All right, so now all this junk we talked about, let's practice it in depth. We're gonna start with some pretty easy problems and slowly graduate to more difficult problems. So each figure shows a triangle with one or more of its medians, all right? So in this first one right here, RP, we wanna find RP. Well, TP is 2.75. So that means, remember, these are medians, so T is a midpoint. So that means that this part is 2.75. So the whole thing is 5.5. All right, just added them together. So RP is 5.5. All right. Now, this one right here is a good one because it's kind of like an introductory to what we were just doing, and it's actually kind of mirroring what the numbers I just picked. But we want to find FT. Okay, that's what we want to find. It's telling me that XF is 4. All right, that's 4. Now, I'm going to go a little too far in depth, but if this is the whole, so TX is the whole median. Remember, angle to centroid's 2/3 of it. That is 1/3 of the length. But an easier way to think about this problem is that you just divide by 2. All right. So angle to centroid is double the distance of centroid to midpoint, so divide by 2. So really, if you understand these ratios and have them all memorized, it equals 2. You did 4 divided by 2, boom, it's 2. All right, this is kind of the overgeneralized rules though, and if you're good at fractions, hopefully you understand that 2/3 is double the length of 1/3, so that's why we know that. All right. I really like this problem because it reviews stuff we were doing at the beginning of the school year. We need to find x if VE equals x minus 3 and VD if 2x minus 9. All right, now remember, these are medians, so these are midpoints. All right, so since it's the midpoint, both of the sides are just going to equal each other. So if I can set up this blue equation, I'm in really good shape. You're going to get x minus 9 equals x minus 3. Oh, time out. Just regular -3, almost brain fart. All right, plus 9 to both sides. X equals 6. And that's it. That's the answer. All right. Midpoint, both halves equal each other. So set them equal each other, solve for x, and that's it. All right. Now this one's a really good problem. I like this problem because we start getting intensely in depth into the ratios. GY is 11x minus 1. YR is 6x minus 1. So let's write out the ratios again. The whole thing. Now this portion is 2/3. This portion is 1/3. All right. So you can either think, if I want to, I can either divide by 2 to get to there, or if I go this way, I can multiply by 2. All right, so GY is 11x minus 1, and that's angle to centroid. YR is 6x minus 1, and that's centroid to midpoint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this one. I actually just like multiplying by 2. Helps eliminate fractions. But if I take YR and multiply it by 2, that's going to give me GY. I'm taking half of the median, or 1/3 of the median, multiplying it by 2/3, or excuse me, taking 1/3 of the median, multiplying by 2 to get 2/3 of the median. So I'm going to do 2 times 6x minus 1 equals 11x minus 1. All right, 12x minus 2, 11x minus 1. Subtract 11x from both sides. 12x minus 11x is x minus 2 equals -1. Plus 2 to both sides, and x equals 1. That's it. It was 1 all along. All right. Now a couple more problems, and we can call it a day in terms of the notes. Find kj if fj equals x minus 3 and fk equals 2x minus 2. All right, so fj is x minus 3. Fk is 2x minus 12. Okay, so this is actually very similar to what the problem we did above, where we have two parts of the midpoint and you just set them equal to each other. So x minus 3 equals 12x minus 12. Subtract x from both sides. -3 equals x minus 12. And that's it. All right. So you solve it, x equals 9. Now we need to find the length. It's important. Make sure we read the problem. We need to find kj. All right, so kj is the whole thing. Technically, I can just plug it into 1/2 of it, multiply it by 2. And that should give me the answer. But I'm going to plug it into both sides. So I got 6 for that one. Then I plug it in over here. I get 12 times 9 minus 12. Or 2 times 9 minus 12 gives me 6. So since both parts are 6, that means kj is 12. And that's the answer. All right, set them equal to each other, solve for x, plug it back in, add them together, 12. All right. And then last one, find qt if qm is x minus 3. And it gives me q, oops. Let me rearrange this. X minus 3, and then gave me the whole thing. So we haven't done a problem like this yet, but it gave me the whole median and angle to centroid. Now recall, this one's pretty hard. We got the whole thing, one whole, and remember this part is 2/3 of it. All right, so what I'm gonna have to do is qm is equal to 2/3 of qt. All right, we've been talking about this ratio the whole time. So that means x minus 3 equals 2 parentheses 2x minus 9 over 3. All right. So this right here, this is a little bit goofy. We don't spend too much time doing stuff like this in geometry. This is more algebra stuff. But we have this divided by 3 right here. Let's get rid of that first by multiplying this whole right side by 3, and then this whole left side by 3. Now let's focus on this right side first. Remember, the purpose of doing this was to cancel them out. All right, if I can get through this first step, I'm in really good shape. If I can cancel those out, because then this is what I'm going to be left with. And getting over that hurdle and getting to this equation right here, important, because from here, you guys have the skills where you guys just know to distribute. Then I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. I got to get my x's together. And 9 equals x. And just for fun, if we plug this in, 9 equals x, we're going to get 9 minus 3 right here. So this here to here is 6. If I plug in 9 right here, I'm going to get 2 times 9 minus 9, that means the whole thing is 9, because 2 times 9 minus 9 is 9. And that also makes sense because this is 3 and it fits all the ratios we've had all along. All right, so some intense algebra stuff. Remember, at the end of the day, the centroid is the balancing point. All right, got some really cool, fun problems for you. And also some of these problems in Canvas are going to help us start to prepare for the upcoming test. So don't be surprised when there's triangle sum, exterior angles, base angle theorem stuff. We want to start to review for the upcoming